Single at 40 podcast. Let's go. Here with Glenn.
Hey, what's up, guys?
So today we want to talk about a little bit about filming inside the bar and how that came about. So over the years of us watching YouTube videos, we noticed that nobody was filming inside the bar except for like hidden camera type stuff. And we kind of just stumbled upon it by mistake, if you will. So when we decided to start the YouTube channel, we kind of started small by making short videos and TikToks first because we hadn't been to the Philippines ready to film anything. So what we did is we basically got all the footage we had on our phones that we'd shot over the last year, and Glenn started making, TikToks and shorts with it. So historically, you're not allowed to film in the bar, and I'm pretty sure that's still a rule in all the bars on Walking Street. And over the years, due to the relationships we've made with the people that work at the bars, the girls, the staff, the management, we started being able to film. And it all started with me just trying to show a couple of our friends that hadn't been to the Philippines or, may never even come. I started filming stuff when we were partying in the bar just to send them text messages with a little bit of film. Like our friend Michael Lugo was one of the guys, I'm wearing a hat he gave me, was one of the guys I'd be sending these films to. And we didn't even realize this cool stuff we were catching filming in the bar when we were doing it. And obviously nobody stopped us because we were just having a great time. So, I mean, we attribute it to the way we treat people there and the fun we have and obviously the money we spend. Let's be real. But, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the spending, I mean, obviously when we start to have a good time and, money's being thrown, and I think it kind of all goes out the window. I mean, a lot of the people will tell you at first, no filming and it's frowned upon. But I think once everyone's having a good time, I think no one really
especially
cares.
the girls. A lot of the girls that work there, maybe their family doesn't know, or they don't want people to know they work in the bar, or whatever. So sometimes people will be like, "Oh, don't film me," especially other customers. But I mean, we started just by breaking our phones out. Nobody really stopped us, and then once we decided to start the YouTube channel, we're like, we're going to go film, and we always obviously ask for permission first. And bars like Genesis and Sky, where we frequent and spend a lot of money, they have no issue with it. And like I said, we let everybody know. So if somebody doesn't want to be on film, they can, stay out of the camera's range. But we've never really ran into anybody not wanting to be filmed, other than, some customers. And we always either blur them out or make sure that they don't get on film. So we've been fortunate in the Philippines. Our guys, Red and Bernie, have, gone around to different bars and asked, can we come and, bring the party and film? And we've been to some places like Sensation, Elite, Las Vegas. Agnes, who runs Atlantis, allowed us to film there. And it was funny with her when we started, we showed up there and asked her, hey, we wanted to do like a Money Rain video. And, and she's like, yeah, no problem. Like, we'll just get it all set. I'll let the girls know if they don't want to be on stage. And so we set it all up, and then we went live with it. And then after that, it's like nobody cared, and we just kept filming, and nobody had a problem with it. So it was kind of funny how that played out. But there's still bars that are against it that, have denied us. But, our goal is to make the bar look like a cool place and have a good party. So as we keep creating these videos, a lot more bars have approached Bernie and Red and asked them, will you guys come and will you guys film? Because we're about promoting the bar and promoting the positivity of the entertainment side of it, right? So that's how it all got started. So with that being said, we decided that we should try to go to Thailand and do the same thing, but we knew it was going to be like an uphill battle going into Thailand because, we didn't have the presence that we had like on Walking Street in Angeles City. So September, we went to Bangkok?
Yeah, it was 2 trips ago, I believe.
So yeah, our trips to Bangkok have been limited. We've been there twice, and the second trip we took a bunch of our team members and we set up in Bangkok close to the entertainment district of Soi Cowboy, which is a tiny little street where they film tons of movies and it gets tons of press. So it's a cool little place. But literally every bar there has a sign as you walk in, like no video, no cameras. And so we were like, shit, how are we going to get this done? And obviously we're not going to do hidden camera stuff because we don't buy into that. So we started hitting up the bars. And I remember we go into one bar and we're sitting there and Adele, one of the angels, like breaks out her phone. And instantly like 3 people came up to her and they literally made her delete the picture she took. And they like made her go into the delete and delete it again. And I remember talking to Glenn, like, I don't think we're going to be able to get this done. Like, I don't think anybody's going to allow it, which is fine. So we kind of just gave up. And then we just went about having our night and just partying. And so we walk up to this one bar, Tilac Bar. The girls were standing out front, and we sat down and started talking to them and started buying drinks and like started having a good time. And eventually we go in the bar, and we started filming outside the bar, and the girls didn't have a problem with it because we were buying them all drinks. We were even passing out money. You can see in one of our Thailand videos, we're making sure all the girls are getting paid, having a good time, and so they weren't worried about being filmed outside. So then we walked into the bar, and we were skeptic about it. And, we actually met the manager, who was a guy from Alabama. His name was Sonny. And we asked him, and he's like, yeah, go for it. So we filmed one night in there and had a great time. And then we came back the next night and brought a bunch of T-shirts for the entire staff, Single 40 T-shirts. And, they obviously remembered us from the night before, and we kicked off another huge party. And, again, we could film. And that night, I don't even remember that customer. He came up to us and asked if we were filming. We said, yeah. And he's like, oh, I'll just leave. And we're like, oh, don't worry. We won't put you in it.
Yeah, definitely.
And cool guy ended up sitting next to us. We didn't put him in the film, but he was definitely skeptical. He was there with his wife, which was cool. So not sure why they didn't want to be on film, but that's their privacy thing. So basically, we learned it's not about the filming; it's about the relationship you have to build with people to be able to film. And once they know your intentions are positive, everything just changes, right?
Yeah, I mean, especially when it comes to, having a good time and money, and like I said earlier, it was once we started, spending money, and obviously everyone's when we have the girls throwing money on the stage and they're having a good time, it doesn't seem like anybody really cares anymore at this point.
Yeah, the Tilac Bar was the best example of it. That, by the way, that's where they filmed the Hangover. I don't know, the second Hangover movie when they go to Bangkok. They filmed it in there, and it looked super familiar. And I actually thought it was a bar across the street from it, like a famous one. I didn't realize it was that till we asked the manager, and he's like, yeah, no, they filmed it here. And a couple of the waitresses that actually worked there at the time were like telling us about it. So that was pretty cool. And then later on, got on YouTube and looked at those clips, and it was like, wow, like they really shot this movie in this bar, and it looks exactly the same. So that was cool for us to be able to film where they filmed a movie. So I thought that was pretty cool. But back to like how we started doing it. Part of our thing was to make Angeles City look positive because it is such a positive, fun place. And most of the vlogs out there and the information out there, end up turning to be negative. You get guys that walk up and down the street and just film the street, which is cool. People like to see that because they can't be there. But there isn't anybody that was doing, positive vlogs about how fun it is and how people should come. And, it's more about you're going to get scammed and watch out for this, watch out for that. So that was one of our pushes. Like when we started was we want to make this place look as positive as it is because it's been so positive for us. Like we talked about in the last podcast with Mikey, who'd been there, 50, 60 times.
Yeah, well, we learned from Mikey and those guys that, treat people well.
I think that's pretty much universal around the world, wherever you go. If you treat people with respect and, if they're working, you make sure they get paid, and they're going to be a lot more open to spending time with you, letting you film. The Philippines is an interesting place because, like, people aren't opposed to cameras like they are in the U.S. You walk around the U.S. and start filming people get pissed,
Yeah, the Philippines, everyone just assumes you're a vlogger, and then they want to be, they're happy,
they're all willing to help and be in the vlog and smile, so it's definitely a positive place. Where Thailand's like the complete opposite. They don't want to be filmed until you take the time to get to know them, and then you show them. We showed them some of our videos of what we were creating, and then they were all about it. Which makes it fun. We were able
to get some subscribers in Thailand, which was pretty funny. Once we started showing them our videos.
Yeah, so we plan to go back to Thailand in March and do another video at the Tilac because we're going to build that relationship farther, and then we're going to move on to Pattaya and try to find some places to film there. But we know it's like an uphill battle. Basically, it's about setting the relationship up first and not breaking out the cameras. And we learned that pretty quick when we got to Thailand. And organically, that's what we did in the Philippines. We just didn't realize we were doing it at the time, right?
Yeah, those little clips that started I think we started on TikTok. So I was making little videos and I was just putting funny and good music to it. So it's something that it wasn't even something that let's film in bar night,
Yeah, totally. It wasn't like it was planned and we wanted to show that off. It just kind of turned into that. And then you look on YouTube, there's nothing like it. So we know it's going to be a slow path because people aren't looking for it because it's not there, but we'll keep creating it and hopefully get people to watch it. And like we try to motivate people to come or, you know, go somewhere and have fun, get out of their comfort zone. That's like the goal at the end of the day of the channel. We did get some really good feedback early on when we were showing a friend of ours here in Hawaii the film and or the different videos we had, and he was watching a few. We were all working together, and then he basically said, he's like, look at everybody in the video, like they're all so happy, like everybody's having a great time. And that was the best feedback we got, because like that's the environment we want to create, and that's why we're there. So for somebody that's never been there and just randomly watched our videos one day at work, to say that, it was like the most rewarding thing, you know, thus far that I got, you know.
Yeah, no, I mean, the truth is, I mean, some of those places, if you walk in, you know, if you're sitting down, it's not as, and everyone's not going crazy and having a great time, you know. I mean, unless you start spending money, and that's basically what I think we were trying to show right off the bat.
No, that's a fantastic point, because most bars you walk into, if there's no customers, a lot of the people working are just sitting down waiting for customers, right? They're not up partying. Why would they be? They're just waiting for people to come in. And you can kind of see the turn of the momentum, if you will. Like, you know, we walk in and everybody's got to stand up and, you know, start doing their job. And then slowly but surely we order some drinks, and then, you know, the party starts getting going, and then pull out some 20s, do like Money Rain, and then the whole momentum, the whole vibe just turns into a positive event, and then the girls start having a good time because they're there to make money.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's it. I mean, and the best is like some places we don't go into for, you know, we maybe don't go into it in one trip, and then when we do go back, they'll remember us, and the vibe's good. And
definitely, like Sensation, we went in there and literally turned that place upside down, spent a ton of money, but had a fantastic time. And those guys have been requesting us to return. So on our next trip, we're gonna go back and hopefully recreate, you know, a good night like we did that first time we were there.
Yeah, that setup's pretty cool. It's like 2 stories, and just you're kind of looking down on the stage, and everyone's having a good time. So.
Definitely, and for the Money Rain, anytime you have 2 stories, it makes it so much easier. But then again, the other thing we do with the Money Rain that you see in the videos is it's always the people that are working. We give the money to rain amongst themselves and the other employees, and I don't even know how that started. I was never somebody that wanted to go throw money and have the attention on me, I guess. So it's like I'm more about just watching them enjoy.
Yeah, I don't know how that started, but it's been good.
But it definitely adds like another element, right?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I think when we first started to really do it was in like Sky Bar, and I mean, just the excitement, you know, those girls throwing money is pretty funny.
Yeah, no, I mean, it somewhat started with like the girls we'd already known that we always go party with, not the ones that necessarily work in the bar, like, you know, Ruby, her sisters, you know, Paloma, and all those other girls that we've been seeing there for, you know, years. And we'd have them throw the money, like, you know, Adele, and then eventually, you know, the employees. And I mean, in Thailand, Glenn gave the bathroom attendant money to go rain, and that guy's face was, I mean, he was stoked. I'm sure you're going to pipe that into this when you edit it.
It was pretty funny because, he didn't even know what I was doing. I'm like, and in Thailand, it's obviously a lot harder to communicate. So when I gave him the stack, I had to like point and basically show him, like, go up there, throw money. So
yeah, he was stoked. That was pretty cool. But we've got some waitresses and, you know, different people that work there do it, and it makes their night because they love to share the wealth with everybody, and it makes it really fun.
Yeah, it's sometimes when I think about it too, because I mean, you've gone over the breakdown of money. I mean, if it's not busy, I mean, some of these, you know, people that work there, they don't make anything, and it's rough.
For sure, they get a very small salary, and then once you buy them drinks and start doing the Money Rain, they have an opportunity to make good money that they need, you know, at the end of the day. So
I mean, for the most part too, when we go there, I mean, we have a different mindset than most people, but I think what we're trying to show and what we want to show is that, you know, like you should go there and spend money, and, you know, if that's where if you decide to go on vacation in the Philippines, spend a night or 2 in Angeles and Walking Street, like don't be cheap, I guess.
Yeah, no, and that's totally true. And like we've always said, we understand people are on a budget, right? And let's just say your budget for the night's $100 US. Like, my advice is, don't just bar hop and then criticize that none of these places were fun. Like, take that $100 and spend it in one place, and, you know, spread it out amongst the staff, and like your night will get fun. Like, they will value you as a customer, and it'll be a lot better. I mean, budgets can be, you know, $100, they can be $1,000, whatever it is. My advice is cruise around, go to a place where you think, you like, that you're comfortable in, and then spend the money there. Because if you just hop from bar to bar and just buy one drink, I mean, your experience is just going to be, going from bar to bar and not meeting anybody and not creating a relationship. So that's my big advice. Part of the negativity that's been thrown out a lot, and we've been getting it on some of our videos about how Angeles is dead and like Koreans have taken it over. Like, obviously you have people from all over the world that go visit these places, as you should. And there is a lot of Korean money and a lot of Korean people that are, there, but they're not ruining it by any means. If it wasn't for some of the Korean guys coming in and taking over bars that shut down after COVID, you wouldn't have a lot of these bars open. So you got to look at that point.
I mean, in the end too, like these Korean owners, they have to have a Filipino involved into the, business, right?
Well, I think people don't understand that.
They don't. So,
Filipinos are still making money because the way the rules and the laws are set up there, like if you have a corporation or you want to own property, like you have to have a Filipino involved. So there are Filipino people that are profiting. Now, I mean, it's a whole nother conversation of who's getting paid what, and is it, are the Filipinos making too much or too less? I mean, that's a whole nother conversation, but at least having bars open and people trying to make bars better is good for anybody that wants to visit. Because if, the place went belly up and there was no bars, then we wouldn't have walking street to go to. So I think people lose sight of that. And then to address, like, people say it's dead. Like, obviously we're not there every night, but every time I go we're there and it's a weekend, like, the bars are crowded and there's a lot of people walking up and down the street. I mean, I'm sure days of the week might matter, time of the year might matter, when people take vacations, but it's not dead by any means. But that's part of why you got to bring the party with you,
I mean, I think it all comes from just looking at the walking street videos. Like, it's not as busy because everyone's for the most part inside the bars, and no one's, besides us, like no one has footage of inside. So like, you're gonna say it's dead. It's not like Pattaya in Thailand. I mean, that place is like Vegas, like where it's just masses of people everywhere. And
Thailand's the most traveled. Bangkok's the most traveled city in the world, and I think people forget that Bangkok and Thailand's the world's playground, as they call it. So I don't understand the thought of like, oh, it's dead. Like, are you there to see other people visiting? Or are you there to like party with girls in the bar? Like, do you need a bunch of random people you don't know that are visiting from another country to make it a good night?
Yeah, I mean, and for the most part, there's not a lot of girls outside because they're mostly inside, so.
And don't get me wrong, meeting people's great, and if you meet other guys that are partying, like, it's fun, but I'm not there to go meet, a guy from India and a guy from Korea and party with them, but if that happens, great, it's cool to meet people, but I don't need it to be popping with, visitors. I'd rather go into a bar and it's just us and we get all the attention. That's another thing I don't understand.
Yeah.
But it's just the negativity, I guess. People always find something to talk negative about because negativity is just easier than being positive.
Yeah, definitely.
But, back to, I think you should just try to figure out where you want to go and then, take your budget and make it last in that one place. You'll have a lot more fun. And bar hopping's cool because you get to see all the different, bars and the different things that are going on in them. But, find one that you like and go spend a little bit of money there. And I guarantee you'll have a better time than just nickel and diming each bar to just hit every single bar.
Yeah.
So the next trip, we're gonna end up in AC right around the New Year's holiday. So a lot of people will take vacation, but we'll make some videos and show that, like, no matter how many people are there, girls working, like, you're gonna still have a good time if you bring the party with you.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, obviously, like you said, with your budget, it's all about the people you're with and just how you want to spend your vacation, your time. You could be anywhere. If you're not, if you have a negative mindset, it's going to be negative, right? So,
even if you're like a solo traveler and you show up by yourself, it's like, have a couple girls come join you, buy them some drinks, and next thing you know, you've got 3 or 4 people with you. You're having a good time, and then cash in 1,000 pesos and get a stack of 20s, give it to the girls that are with you to go throw on the stage, and next thing you know, you're gonna have everybody's attention. You're gonna be having a great time if that's what you're into. If you're not into that, great. Just sit there and have your drinks and watch and then leave. But a lot of this podcast is just driven off of the negative stuff we've been reading and the different videos that have been made. That's kind of why we wanted to address it and talk about how we got into it. But at the end of the day, do what you enjoy is the main thing, and just get out and go do something, right?
Yeah, I mean, just being obviously positive with your mind or whatever, what you feel, that's what you got to do.
Even the dance clubs, I mean, like, what is it, Mega Dance and Hammer, even those places are the same type of setup where, you got a lot of people working in there. And I mean, I've gone into those places, they've been dead. And, once you get your table and then you start meeting the waitresses and the people working, and you start spending money and, sharing what you're spending, those places even turn out to be more fun than when you just walk in and everything's dead. But I think we even have a short where it like shows a view of like Sky Bar when there's nobody in there and the girls are all sitting on the stage, and then I think you fast forward to like once we start doing what we do and everybody's like jumping around and partying and dancing. I don't remember when you put that short out, but
that was a long time ago. I think it was one of like the first ones we made.
Yeah, maybe you can pipe that into this and show everybody the difference. It's pretty cool. So that's about what we got for today. We just wanted to address that and talk more about how we started filming in the bars and what created it. And if you haven't seen our videos and you come across the podcast, check it out. If you have bars that you want to see filmed inside, I see comments all the time on other people's stuff like, show us the girls or show us inside the bar. And I don't want to like shamelessly say, oh, go look at ours. And I don't think you're even allowed to comment that on Facebook. But I think if we stick to making them and stick to talking about them on the podcast, we'll get more people to check it out and see what we're up to. And we want people to be able to go do what we do and show people how to do it. And we want people to have a good time. And once you have a good time, everybody there makes money, and it's a win-win for everybody. You got any more to add?
No, I mean, that's it. I mean, having a good time, and that's why people go there. So,
spend money. Don't be cheap. Enjoy your time there. You go there to have fun. If you live there, it's a different thing. I get it. And you got to keep to your budget. But if you're visiting, like, go party, have a good time. Don't worry about the other Korean bars or all the bullshit you read on freaking Facebook and YouTube. Just go check it out yourself and watch our videos and try to use your budget wisely. And I think you'll have a great time.
Yeah, I mean, they're all, I mean, for the most part, I mean, it's the common theme is, to have a good time, you spend a little money and, create relationships with people, and you'll end up, if you continue to go back like we do, then you'll have a good time. So
that is the mission. All right, guys, you can check us out on X, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Single at 40 on all of them. Check out the content. We'll keep going. Comments, questions are always, we're always asking for that. Tell us what you want to see. Tell us what you want to talk about. I mean, we make this stuff to show people, what we're up to, but we also want to motivate people. So if there's anything you want to see or you have questions about anything, hit us up in the comments, please. All right. Thanks for watching.
All right. Thank you.